Welcome to a special report on what might be the most volatile story in space exploration right now. We're talking about the entire future of NASA hanging by a thread. The Artemis Moon Program, the incredible James Webb Space Telescope, the mission to bring back samples from Mars. Everything is at risk. Why? Because a massive, controversial budget cut for fiscal year 2026 has been proposed, one that critics are calling nothing less than an extinction-level event for space science. Today we're going to break down the shocking numbers. We'll look at which missions are on the chopping block, why the United States might be about to concede the new space race, and most importantly, whether Congress can actually step in and save NASA from this potential catastrophe. Let's dive right in. First, let's get straight to the hard facts, because the numbers in this proposed budget for NASA's FY 2026 are nothing short of devastating. The overall funding for the agency is slated to be slashed by nearly 24%. That alone is a massive hit. But the real target, the bullseye of this budget cut, is the Science Mission Directorate. For those who don't know, this is the division responsible for almost every stunning new image from deep space and every groundbreaking discovery you see in the headlines. It's the heart of NASA's exploratory spirit, and it faces a terrifying 47% funding cut. Let me repeat that. Nearly half of its budget gone. This isn't just a simple case of belt-tightening. This is effectively dismantling the scientific core of the agency. If a cut this deep goes through, the consequences would be immediate and catastrophic. It would likely result in the cancellation of over 40 current and planned science missions. This includes vital probes designed to study Mars, Jupiter, and the very fabric of our universe. Missions that have been in development for years, with teams of dedicated scientists and engineers, could be wiped out overnight. The global science community has been almost unanimous in its response. A reduction of this magnitude is simply unsustainable and would set back progress for decades. Now let's talk about the most visible and critical victim in this budget war, the Artemis Program. This is our grand return to the Moon. Artemis II, which is set to be the first crewed flight to orbit the Moon in over 50 years, is currently on track for 2026. Excitement is building. But here's the bombshell from the proposal. The entire architecture for deep space human exploration, the mighty SLS rocket and the Orion spacecraft, would be retired after the Artemis III landing. Just think about that for a second. We finally achieved the monumental goal of getting astronauts back on the lunar surface, and then we immediately stop going. This proposal doesn't just pause our lunar ambitions, it cuts them off at the knees. It kills the long-term plans for a sustained human presence on the Moon, and by extension, kills the foundational plans for an eventual human mission to Mars. And it gets worse. The Lunar Gateway, the crucial orbital station planned with international partners like Europe, Japan, and Canada, is also slated for cancellation. This isn't just a domestic cut. It's a betrayal of our international commitments. The message this sends to the world is loud and clear. The United States may be exiting the new space race against China, just as it reaches its most intense and critical phase. Next, let us talk about the universe's most powerful discovery machine, the James Webb Space Telescope. Webb has been rewriting textbooks and capturing the public eye's imagination with its breathtaking images of distant galaxies and newborn stars. The good news is that the telescope itself won't be shut off, but its operational funding is facing a very painful squeeze under this new proposal. Significant cuts to its operations budget really mean one thing: fewer discoveries. Fewer scientists and engineers running the telescope means less available time for observations. It means less processing of the incredible data that Webb is constantly beaming back to Earth. Essentially, it means a massive slowdown in our search for habitable exoplanets and our quest to see the very first stars flicker into existence after the Big Bang. The $10 billion investment we all made to build and launch this marvel is suddenly at risk of becoming a much less effective machine. It's like buying a Ferrari and then not having enough money for gas. So you might be asking, what is the official reasoning behind these unprecedented, almost unbelievable cuts? The official line from the proposal's authors is resource realignment. In simple terms, the government wants to redirect this spending to other domestic priorities. However, critics and insiders tell a different story. They argue that the soaring cost overruns of the SLS rocket have made the entire Artemis program an easy and tempting political target for cancellation. For years, the program's budget has been a point of contention, and it seems that bill may finally be coming due in the most destructive way possible. Instead of finding a more sustainable path forward, this proposal opts to just burn the whole thing down. But here is the crucial ray of hope in all this darkness. This is, for now, just a proposal. It is not law. The final decision on NASA's budget rests with the United States Congress, and the fight is already on. Scientists, engineers, space enthusiasts, and advocacy groups from all over the world are already mobilizing. They're putting immense pressure on lawmakers, writing letters, and making calls to stop this potential disaster from becoming a reality. They understand that if these cuts go through, it's not just a loss for NASA. It's not just an American issue. It's a profound loss for human curiosity, for our shared dream of exploration, and for the future of our species as a spacefaring civilization. This is a moment where public voices can truly make a difference. I want to know what you think. Is this budget cut a necessary evil or a catastrophic mistake? What does the future of space exploration mean to you? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you found this report informative, please consider giving it a like and, most importantly, share it with fellow space fans to spread the word. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for all the latest breaking news on NASA, the Artemis program, and JWST as this story develops. Thank you for watching.